more and more stories on stage, and we really like what he does. So I'm very happy to invite him. Would you please welcome Jugal?
How are we doing tonight, folks?
Good.
All right. So, considering today is April Fool's Day, and the theme for tonight is truth or lies, I'd like to tell you guys a story about the lies we tell ourselves. Now, I come from a family which for many generations has had this strong industrial background of big businesses and industry. And my great-grandfather actually made his fortune in the oil business. And growing up, that's what I thought I was cut out to do as well, that I would inherit the family business and take the legacy forward. And I was so determined and passionate about this that in the bedroom I grew up in, I had a poster right above my bed. And the poster was of the Forbes top 10 richest people in the world. And on that poster were names like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. And every single morning, I would look at that poster and think, someday my name's gonna be up there. And because of the home I grew up in and the lifestyle I had, I was accustomed to certain luxuries in life. Like, I always felt a sense of pride every single time I wore my $200 Giorgio Armani. And I felt really cool in high school when every single time I would go to school with my Beats by Dr. Dre headphones around my head. Ain't this a look?
Steven.
So I used to think to myself, if this is the lifestyle that I want to maintain, and if this is the way that I will convince my family that I'm ready to carry on the family legacy, I'm going to go to America and I'm going to study economics at the Pennsylvania State University. So that's what I did. And just because I thought I could study economics doesn't necessarily mean I would like studying economics. I remember sitting in the classroom and hearing terms like supply side and demand side policies, absolute advantage, general equilibrium, and I would think, what the fuck is going on? I was so lost. I remember in the harsh Pennsylvania winters, we would have classes at 8 a.m. and sometimes I just wouldn't bother going to class. And since I started missing those classes, I started missing my afternoon classes as well. And surely but slowly, I was failing most of my courses. And failing in my family is completely unacceptable. I had a name to carry, I had a legacy to take forward. And in order to mask the pain of failing these courses, I started smoking lots of weed. And when I found out that from the classes I was failing, I'd actually failed the entire semester, I moved from weed to popping pills of ecstasy. And when my academic supervisor told me that I would actually have to repeat the entire year of university, I moved from ecstasy to smoking meth from a glass pipe. And that became my life. I would smoke meth and I would watch Game of Thrones episodes. And all crystal meth, Game of Thrones seems much more interesting than it actually is. I even enjoyed the last season.
Good one.
Day, as I was getting high in my room watching Game of Thrones, I get a call from a friend. And he says, dude, we haven't seen or heard from you in weeks. Is everything all right? And I say, yeah, I'm fine. I've just not been feeling myself, so getting some rest. And he said, okay, listen, I'm going to pick you up in 15 minutes. There's this play happening on campus. It's free to attend. So why don't you come with us? And I make up excuses and I say, no, I really don't want to go. And he says, hey, I will pick you up in my car. I will drop you back home. It's free to attend. There's no reason why you should say no. And I think, all right, I'll go watch this play. And as I go get ready and take a shower, I realize I haven't showered in 2 weeks and I haven't left home in a month. You exactly. My friend picks me up. We go to the play and it's in this small theater, just an amateur theater with 50 seats. And we sit down in our chairs and the lights go. And the curtains open and out come the two main actors of the play. And the actors of the play have these spotlights on them which keep following them around as they go on stage, and I was so enthralled by these spotlights. And every single time an act or a scene of the play would end, I would be the first one to clap emphatically and the last one to stop. And when the play was over and the actors would bow down, I was the first one to get up to give them a standing ovation. And I remember screaming, "Bravo, bravo," at the top of my voice. And on the way back home, all I could think about was the kids I saw on stage today were my age. They went to the university that I went to. Could I have been up there? And when I went home and when I reached my bedroom, I didn't touch the glass pipe. I didn't turn on Game of Thrones. I just sat down on the floor and I cried. And I cried longer and harder than I'd ever cried before. And in the morning, after I was all cried out, I picked up the phone to call my father. My father, the person whose legacy I had to carry forward. My father, whose expectations I had to meet. And I call him and I tell him, "Dad, I don't like the way I'm living. I'm putting substances in my body that I really don't want to. And I'm scared if I carry on like this, something horrible might happen." And as I expect anger and disappointment and rage from the other end of the phone, all I hear him say is, "Son, take your passport. Don't pack a suitcase. Go to the airport. Take the first flight you find and you come home." And that's what I did. And 6 months of rehab and many therapy sessions later, I sort of realized the lies that I've been telling myself. Today, I work as a journalist. And even though sometimes every month I make less than what those sunglasses cost, at least I stopped lying to myself. At least I'm happy. And that theater company whose play I saw, which started this journey, when I went back to the US, I looked up what the theater company was. I saw they were holding auditions in 2 weeks. So I prepared a 2-minute monologue. I auditioned for them. And I got the part.
Woohoo! Oh shit, I was just You the best.
Good. Good that you transformed the journalism into storytelling as well. Wonderful. Thank you so much for this story, my friend. Thank you.
I wanted to be an economist. My father wanted theater, and you awakens. No, sorry. I don't know how I do that. It's such a beautiful story, and I just had to like.
Just love the attention.
Yeah.
Can't live without it.